Welcome to our channel Stoic Moves. Thank you for joining us on this journey as we explore the deep values of success mindset and inner strength. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much you try, you can't seem to hold her attention for long? Or why, despite all the effort you put in, she just doesn't seem to care the way you want her to? What if I told you the key to making her think about you non-stop isn't in playing games or sending the perfect text, but in shifting your approach and becoming a man who doesn't need to chase at all? It's not about manipulation or trying to make her miss you. It's about a powerful transformation that starts within you. When a man steps away, not physically but emotionally, there's a shift that cannot be ignored. Suddenly, the attention she once took for granted starts to slip away. The messages slow down, the energy vanishes, and in that silence, something primal awakens in her. It's not love. It's not even about missing you, it's about power. And when you stop chasing, when you detach emotionally, everything changes. That's when she starts to chase you. That's when she begins to question her worth. And that's when the entire dynamic flips. Everything you've known about relationships and attraction will change after this. What you're about to hear isn't manipulation. This is the reclaiming of male power. From a young age, most men are conditioned to seek female approval as the ultimate validation. It starts small, a smile, a laugh, a feeling of accomplishment. And just like that, it becomes a high. That's the chase. From that moment, you begin unconsciously building your worth around one thing: how a woman responds to you. The more attention she gives, the more alive you feel. You start trading your time, your energy, and even your identity in hopes of getting that next hit of validation. You become addicted. You think, if I just show her how loyal I am, how patient I am, how good I can be, she'll choose me. You send those double texts, rearrange your schedule, cancel plans to be available for her, and answer late-night calls even when you're tired, hoping, waiting, believing that she will eventually give back. Maybe she does, but in small doses, just enough to keep you hooked. And then it hits you. She's pulling away. Her texts become shorter. Her attention shifts. She's emotionally distant. And it crushes you, because you can't understand what went wrong. The truth is, you gave away your value too easily. Not because you're a bad man, but because no one ever taught you how this really works. Most men believe love is earned by persistence, by being the nice guy, by never giving up. But here's the brutal truth that psychology reveals time and time again. Women don't fall for effort, they fall for presence. They fall for strength, for self-respect, and for the man who doesn't have to try so hard. Attention is currency. It's power. If you hand it over too easily, she won't value it. She won't see it as special because when something comes too easily, it's devalued. Here, it's not her being cruel, it's human nature. We chase what's scarce, we respect what's earned, we admire what we fear losing. When you're always available, always giving, and emotionally open, where's the tension? Where's the mystery? Where's the challenge? But when you begin to pull your attention back, not out of spite, not to play games, but because you realize that you were giving from an empty place, everything starts to shift. You regain control. You become the man who commands respect and presence without chasing. And that's when things really start to change. And now, as you start to reclaim your power, it's time to consider: are you ready to step into your true strength, or will you continue down the same path? Because the next step in this journey will reveal how you can start commanding your energy and attraction without ever needing to chase again. You've already made the first step, the shift. You've stopped reaching, stopped trying to prove yourself. You no longer find yourself offering your soul in exchange for the smallest sign of connection. You've stopped being the pleaser and embraced a new role, the man who understands and recognizes his own worth. This internal shift, this realization of your value, speaks louder than any grand gesture or love letter could ever convey. When you stop trying, something primal happens. You communicate a truth that is far more powerful than you realize. I am no longer yours to control. It's the silence, the distance, the restraint that carries this message. It's not a rejection, it's an awakening. The message is clear: I'm not chasing anymore. And just like that, she begins to feel something unfamiliar. The emotional leash she once had on you is gone. You've stepped into your own space, your own energy, and that makes her uncomfortable. You're no longer dancing for her attention. You've stopped being the dependable backup plan. This shift triggers something deep inside her. She starts asking herself, where did he go? Who is taking his focus now? Why is he so different? You see, walking away doesn't make her hate you. Instead, it makes her rethink you. It repositions you in her mind, from needy to needed, from predictable to powerful, from background noise to the central character in her thoughts. What you've done is create contrast. You've created space for her to feel the weight of your absence. And this, my friend, is where the magic happens. This isn't about punishing her or playing games. It's about reclaiming your self-worth and stepping out of the cycle of self-abandonment. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to convince anyone to stay, because he's too busy building a life that is worth being a part of. When she feels that shift, the calm, the focus, the absence of desperation, she has no choice but to respond. Whether that response is panic, curiosity, interest, or even confusion, the dynamic between you two has completely flipped. She now finds herself working to regain what she once had control over. And the moment you stop chasing is the moment you start attracting, not because you're trying to, but because a man at peace with himself is irresistible. He doesn't compete, he doesn't beg, and he certainly doesn't bend. He stands firm in his own worth. And in a world full of men willing to do anything for attention, the man who has the strength to walk away becomes unforgettable. Women don't chase when you beg. They chase when you disappear. This isn't because they're cruel, it's deeply rooted in psychology, in evolutionary instinct. If you're always there, there's no sense of urgency. If you never pull back, there's no risk. And where there's no risk, there's no reward. Women, like all of us, value what feels rare. Your complete devotion, given freely and without effort, loses its power the moment it's taken for granted. It's about understanding this delicate balance of presence and absence. Now, as you shift your energy and realign with your purpose, remember that the attraction you seek isn't about force. It's about being the type of man who naturally commands respect, attention, and most importantly, his own peace. In the previous moments, we explored how detaching from neediness can shift the dynamics of attraction. Now let's dive into the deeper truth of why a woman's attraction is rooted not in insecurity, but in uncertainty. A woman's attraction isn't driven by chaos or instability, but by the quiet, underlying tension of wondering if she could lose your attention if she stops showing up fully. When she senses that your emotional investment isn't limitless, that you are a man who can detach, walk away, and continue thriving, something shifts within her. She's now operating under a new reality, a reality where you are no longer predictable, where her comfort zone has been breached. And in that space, something powerful happens. Her desire intensifies. It's not about manipulation. It's about the raw, unspoken truth that draws her in. She'll begin to test you, not out of malice, but because she's craving something more. She wants to feel the edge. She wants to experience the pull of competition. She wants to see if you're just like the rest of the men who've come before, or if you're different. She wants to know if you'll collapse at the first sign of her pulling away, or if you'll stand your ground. So she might throw out the bait, an Instagram story of herself in a tight dress, a comment about some guy who just gets it, or a dry text left unanswered, waiting for you to chase and double text out of desperation. But this is the defining moment for you. This is where you must learn to pause, not panic. Your response in this moment will shape everything. If you fold, if you chase her, if you let your emotions take over and plead for her affection, then she wins. Though not in a healthy, productive way. She wins because now she knows your value is tied to her response. She knows you're emotionally dependent on her approval. But if you don't chase, if you remain calm and unbothered, if you stay immersed in your own world, she begins to spin. She starts questioning herself. Did I lose him? And in that moment of uncertainty, you've already won something far more important than her attention. You've reclaimed your self-respect. The most powerful position in any relationship is the one where you are willing to walk away without fear. Let me say that again for emphasis. If you are not prepared to walk away, you are not in control. Detachment isn't cruelty, it's control. Emotional discipline is not coldness, it's masculine wisdom. It's the backbone of every strong man who refuses to beg for love, who refuses to be emotionally extorted by mixed signals or half-hearted affection. When a woman pulls away and you react with strength and resilience instead of neediness, you communicate one powerful truth: I am enough, with or without you. Because while women crave certainty, they respect the man who doesn't give it all, away up front. They respect the man who keeps part of himself untouched, unmoved, and unrushed. You kill that respect the moment you overexpose your emotions, the moment you chase after her, or allow yourself to become emotionally dependent on her validation. Stay grounded, stay silent when necessary. And in doing so, you will transform from a man who is desperate for love into one who naturally commands respect. Let's reflect on something we've touched on before. The moment you detach emotionally, everything shifts. The key here is maintaining your center and never abandoning it in a desperate attempt to win someone over. This isn't about just playing it cool. It's about building a life so rooted in your own worth that anyone you meet has to earn a place within it. You destroy the attraction the moment you abandon your center just to win her over. That's when things start slipping away. You lose her the second she realizes that you're more afraid of losing her than she is of losing you. That fear, that desperation, can destroy everything you've built. That's why vulnerability can be a double-edged sword for a man who hasn't yet cultivated power. Vulnerability without strength isn't liberating. It's a trap. You don't open up to a woman who hasn't yet proven she respects your silence. You don't hand over your soul to someone who hasn't earned your time and your trust. To truly build attraction and connection, you need to first build yourself, mentally, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Only then can you begin to decide who is worthy of sharing your life. You must be so grounded in your identity that your absence becomes a statement. If your absence doesn't move her, then it's clear that your presence never meant anything in the first place. If she doesn't reach out when you walk away, understand one thing: she never truly valued you. She valued the attention, the comfort, the option, but not you. She didn't value the man who stood before her. At this moment, you must become so grounded in your identity that her reaction becomes just that: information, not validation. Whether she moves closer or fades away, it tells you everything you need to know, but it doesn't shake who you are. When you stop chasing, three things always happen. First, she notices. Women are intuitive. They pick up on shifts in energy. Long before you say a word, she will sense the pause in your enthusiasm. She'll feel the delay in your responses. And even if she doesn't speak it, she'll be analyzing, she'll be wondering, why is he different? Second, she acts slowly at first. A like on an old photo, a random message. Just saw this and thought of you. A casual question. How's your week going? It's not checking in, it's checking your temperature. She wants to see if you'll crack, if you'll come running, if you'll fall back into the old pattern. And when you don't, that's when she starts investing. Third, she tests. This is where it gets interesting. She'll pull away again. She might act cold, flirt with someone else, get busy with her own life. She does this, not because she's done, but because she wants to confirm the power dynamic between you two. This is where most weak men fold. They get jealous, confront her, beg for attention. But the high-value man? He doesn't blink. He mirrors the energy. He stays focused. While she plays her cards, he's building his empire. You must understand that this entire game is about emotional leverage. The man who wins is the one who doesn't need to win. He's detached, not indifferent, but in control. He feels deeply, but never recklessly. He loves hard, but never from a place of fear. And most importantly, he never abandons himself to hold on to someone else. So how do you build this kind of strength? Stop reaching. Stop reacting. Stop seeking her response like a starving man. Focus on your purpose, your body, your mission, your money, your mind. When you make yourself the priority, everything else falls into place. And when she sees you unwavering in your purpose, she'll either rise to meet your level or she'll fade away. But either way, you'll be in a position of power, grounded in who you are. This is the essence of true attraction, the kind that lasts. In the previous part, we talked about the power of detachment and how it's rooted in emotional control. Now let's dive deeper into the concept of presence. How do you reach that point where your silence speaks louder than words, where your strength is felt without you having to prove anything? The answer lies in living your life with such purpose and conviction that no external validation is necessary. Live your life in such a way that her presence becomes a gift, not a necessity. It's not about seeking her attention constantly, not about chasing after her approval or broadcasting every emotion you feel. You don't need to declare your silence, it should just exist. You don't need to shout about how far you've come. You simply move on with grace and strength. You don't need to show off your resilience, just embody it quietly and consistently. When you've mastered this level of emotional control, you become magnetic in a way words can't quite capture. You stop chasing her, and instead you start living in a way that draws her in without effort. Your life becomes a reflection of self-respect, and that resonates with those around you. You no longer need her to validate your worth. She begins to chase, not because you forced her to, but because your very presence has become something she desires. You see, the power dynamic shifts. Instead of running after love, you've become a man who chooses. And in that moment, everything changes. A woman's love is powerful, yes, but it's never unconditional. It's rooted in how you present yourself, in the energy you bring into the room. If she senses that you'll give her everything without her earning it, she'll take it, and she won't think twice about leaving it behind. But when she realizes that she must rise to your level, that she must earn your time, trust, and energy, she will treat you like the king you are. The moment you stop chasing, you no longer feel the need to prove yourself or bend to her every whim. You become the one who's respected, the one who has boundaries, the one who walks away not in bitterness, but with a quiet peace. Walking away isn't weakness. It's the strongest move a man can make when done with clarity and peace of mind. It's not about punishing her. It's about protecting your soul, guarding your energy, and realizing that you have bigger things to focus on. Work to do, a mission to pursue, a legacy to build. And if she fits into that vision, she will stay, but if not, she will fade. And you will remain, growing, evolving, becoming the best version of yourself. Remember, your value is not determined by anyone else's opinion or presence. Your worth is inherent. So let your silence speak, let your strength shine, and continue living your life with purpose. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more content that will help you grow and live in alignment with your true self. Thank you for watching and being part of this journey. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more valuable insights and lessons. Stay tuned for the next episode and continue walking the path of Stoic wisdom with us.